Hello dear YouTube retro viewers, and modern gaming viewers in this case. I do hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video. This is on the Nintendo Switch OLED indeed, which I got myself a couple of months ago. Something I always wanted to try out, and I thought it would be a good thing in support of making videos for this channel. But now, typically, in my middle age, I rarely play games. I play them every now and again. Not so much a gamer. Take me back 20, 30 years ago, I was playing games constantly. These days, not so much. So, over the past couple of months, and in the upcoming months and years, has the Switch managed to persuade me to play some of its cracking little titles? I've got to say, how does the Switch suit a casual gamer such as myself? And also in this video we're going to talk about, is it worth now? You've seen this quite a lot on the internet, no doubt. Is it worth buying a Switch now at this point in 2024? Let's say I'm recording this in February 2024. Is it worth buying now with possibly the Switch 2 around the corner? I'm going to give you my own thoughts and feelings on that. So okay, let's not hesitate. Let's get into the video. I'm going to approach to answer the latter of those two questions that I put at the beginning of this video. Is it worth buying now, early 2024? We still don't have official news of the Switch. What is likely to happen at the end of Nintendo's fiscal year, I believe it's the end of March, they'll report back to their shareholders, and goodness knows what. That's when we'll probably hear news, official news, of the Nintendo Switch 2. I can't see the Switch 2 releasing until the end of this year. I'm actually thinking possibly the holiday of 2024, so Christmas 2024, or very possibly even into 2025. So we could have roughly another year of the original, should we call it, Nintendo Switch, whether you have the original model or the OLED version like I have. Probably got another year of playing. I did factor that, thinking I saw all these videos, oh no, Nintendo Switch 2's coming, is it worth buying the Nintendo Switch, the original one? I mean, for me, I wanted to try Mario Odyssey. As soon as as you can see, I bought that from my local CEX store. They're not cheap Switch games. I wanted to try that. You can do emulation of the Switch on your PC. It's just not quite the same. You don't get a form factor like that, for example. And, you know, it's a lot of messing around. Irrespective of this sort of pirating matter, you know, if you do emulate this without owning it, you are in fact pirating it as well. I don't go in for all that. Also wanted to try the latest and greatest Zelda game, as you can see there. I did try the first one on the Wii U, I'll talk more about that later. And, you know, I bought myself Red Dead Redemption here as well, just to try it. It actually came with Mario Kart, and that's a fantastic game as well. So there's certainly a couple of things, a few things I wanted to try. Wanted to see whether this form factor suits me. I'm going to get more into that in the second part of my video. But still having a year to go, who knows what the Switch 2 will be? Will it be a Switch 2? Will it be a completely different console? People are actually veering, I mean, you know, the consensus is that it's going to be similar somewhat to the Switch, so it's going to be like a successor of the Switch, shall I say. So some kind of Switch 2 where you can possibly bring your games across, but who knows? Regardless, I wanted to try this. This cost me around £300 from Amazon for the Switch itself, and the games I've probably spent something like another £100 on them. So yeah, about £400 worth. And the price cost of Switch 2, what is that going to be? £400-500? Who knows? Regardless, I still wanted to play these games. I'm not going to feel bad in a year's time if the Switch 2 comes along, maybe a better screen, updated graphics and goodness knows what, and you could possibly play your titles that you're playing now in an updated version. I'm not going to be disappointed. I wanted to try these now. I didn't want to wait another year. I wanted to try this one since it launched many years ago, and I hadn't until recently. So there you go. In my opinion, it's still worth getting. Let's get that screen. It's gone on. There we go. It's still worth getting. I think particularly the OLED version, that screen really pops and it gives you a lot of clarity in games. I think it's particularly worth buying. If you can buy it on a discount, absolutely. Even if you can't, still worth buying. We've still got possibly another year of this. And do you want another year to go by? It's the Switch I wanted to play. Possibly not the Switch 2, it depends what that turns out like. But we don't even know about that yet. This is the one I wanted to try. If you still want to try it before this year's out, before the Switch 2 gets here, I say, why not? Go for it. Well, that's just my opinion. Let me know yours down below in the comments. What I'll do now, I'll talk more about the games, see if this kind of, let you know rather, whether this form of gaming suits me as a casual player. Okay, so how is the system suiting a casual gamer? I'm going to show you Super Mario Odyssey first. One of the games I wanted to try. I've tried all the Marios throughout the years. So whether it be Mario, Super Mario Land, the original Mario Brothers, and goodness knows what. As you can see, it looks fantastic, doesn't it, on this OLED screen. Tried them all basically, from the Game Boy, from the Nintendo, from the original Atari system, I believe. Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. This is a brilliant continuation. It's what I hoped it was. There is a level I really want to get to on this. That's a New York level. Guess it keeps you playing, you know, with a promise. You saw that in probably a lot of the preview videos from this game, Mario Odyssey, that you can get to New York and roam around there and even do some kind of retro Donkey Kong level. It really makes you want to play and go on with this game and complete it. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it. It's got some new mechanic. It's got 2D parts and 3D parts in it. Something very different to what you've seen in other Mario games. And I'm showing you in this form factor, showing you the game in this form factor. This is completely the way I've played it. Obviously, I've got both hands on my Switch normally, and I have it in my lap. I'll just hold it a couple of feet away from me and play it that way. This is the way I normally play it. You can dock the Switch to a TV, of course, to get graphics out on your TV. The idea of me getting this was just to pick it up and give it a couple of hours now and again, and that's exactly what I've been doing with this game and Mario Kart, in fact, over the past couple of months. So yeah, Super Mario Odyssey, if you ever fancy playing it, and it's another reason to jump into the Switch today, so to speak, so that you can play this, well worth playing. This one doesn't disappoint. And then we come to the venerable Legend of Zelda. Let me just remind myself of the title. Tears of the Kingdom. Never remember that one. Now, I did play the original Zelda. You talk about a system seller for the Switch. The original Breath of the Wild. As soon as it came out, I just knew I wanted to play that game. Now, even in those days, I wasn't a huge game player, so to speak. My years of gaming were behind me. But I just knew I wanted to try and play that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I actually got myself a Wii U and a copy of Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. It's about half the price of buying a Switch at the time. Less than half the price, because I got the Wii U second hand, even though it looked brand new. Didn't regret it. It got me back into gaming for a while, Breath of the Wild. I was hoping this would be the same kind of feeling. It's quite similar to Breath of the Wild. Looks absolutely, I mean, look at that. Looks gorgeous on the OLED screen on the Switch, even in playing it in this format. I mean, my camera work here really doesn't do it any justice. Got the sounds turned down, of course. Nintendo take a dim view of having Nintendo sounds for some reason. You could show the pictures and not the sound. Sounds and looks beautiful, especially when you're playing you got a set of headphones in as well. Beautiful looking game. Doesn't quite give me that wow moment that Breath of the Wild does, of course. I believe it's just because it's quite similar, but I've already spent maybe over 20 hours in this one too. Oh dear, there's a blood moon. Oh, that could be dangerous for me. Anyway, if you've never played a Zelda game, this is a good start. It's a little bit tricky, a little bit harder I found than Breath of the Wild 2. Beautiful looking game on the Switch, especially with the OLED screen. And another one that's well recommended. I'm just showing you snippets of these games. If you want me to do longer videos, that's the reason for me buying these. If you want me to do longer videos of these, some kind of playthroughs, do let me know down below in the comments. Yeah, but just look at that. Okay, but there's another set of games that I absolutely love playing on this Switch, and it was another consideration for me buying it. Let me show you them. So the other major consideration for me getting a Switch, I've never been satisfied on things like the Mister and Raspberry Pi, etc. of Nintendo 4 emulation. This being a Nintendo console, I was hoping that the Nintendo 4 games like Wave Race and Pilot Wings, just for example, were going to be spot on. You're not going to be you're not going to be disappointed with the emulation on the Switch of Nintendo 64. It's absolutely spot on. For me, it's the best way. Now, I have had my Switch docked to a TV. I've got an old TV, kind of like a retro TV. I've had it docked to play Wave Race and Pilot Wings, especially. It's great to play it that way. It's great to play in this format too. I've been playing these games, picking up and playing these games as much as the sort of big title games, as you can see here. So, yeah, I've been playing, there you go, put them like that so you can see them all. I've been playing these Nintendo 64 games and the SNES games on here. I mean, look at it, the emulation, it's exactly how I remember playing these games. Thank you. You know who you are if you're watching this. Someone gave me a present for Christmas, a voucher that I could spend on the Nintendo eShop. Buying the 12-month membership plus pack. I think it costs around £34-35. You get it for the year and you can play all these games. The only thing that's missing for me on this console now are GameCube games. Are they coming to the Switch? I would love to see GameCube games on the Switch as well. There's a couple of cracking titles, but this is brilliant. This is just like the icing on my cake. So listen, people, as a casual gamer, is it suiting my needs? Do I pick it up and play it? You're too right, I do. Absolutely no misgivings in buying this, buying it even in 2024. Listen, if you fancy getting it, if you want to get your hands on these games, you wonder if it's going to suit you. I can't answer that question, but from a very casual viewpoint, gamer viewpoint, this is hitting the mark. So there you go, that's my thoughts. Love the Switch, so glad I bought it even in 2024, but do let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you one of those people who are wondering whether the Switch will suit you? I hope this video has helped you to decide. Give it a like, the video, if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Lots of sorts of modern gaming and retro gaming and all that goodness coming on this channel. And I'll see you soon.